For those who visit, it's a piece of paradise, a place for boaters, those who ski, who fish, or just want to cool off on a hot summer day.
We had a lot of memories here, so that was just a lifelong dream.
Ed Slusser's dream was a marina, a network of docks that made up Alligator One in Russell Springs.
In the summertime, the place was busy all the time with people coming and going.
The same scene could be found up the lake at Buck Creek Boat Dock in Somerset. Boaters from all over the world made the trek to Gigi Zink's marina every summer and had been for decades.
My marina was the oldest marina in this lake. It was built in 1954.
Buck Creek was nestled in a cove, making it attractive to boat owners wanting to avoid turbulent waters. But turbulence is exactly what Zink and Slusser both encountered in 2007, the year the water ran out, along with their livelihoods.
Well, I'm broke. I'm penniless. You know, everything that I worked for my whole life is gone.
The Corps of Engineers, unfortunately, did us wrong. It wasn't right.
There was no money to help, you know, not just me, but anybody else on the lake. You know, they just caused an economic disaster and said, sorry about your luck.
It was 5 years ago when repair to the Wolf Creek Dam forced the Army Corps of Engineers to lower the water level at Lake Cumberland. Slusser says the water dropped more than 40 feet, making his marina's restaurant, gas pumps, and docks unusable.
You had a mud hole practically.
Zink claims she was given just 5 days' notice to move her marina 8 miles down the river before being left in the mud. So she spent $120,000 moving a marina that hadn't been moved in 27 years.
When we moved the marina, everybody in the marina didn't like the place, so they started taking all the boats out. A lot of people didn't pay us the rentals anymore, and we just lost everything.
Both Zink and Slusser blame the Corps, not only for the lack of notice given before lowering the lake, but for leaving marina owners to drown in debt.
They don't claim any responsibility for anything.
Slusser says on top of taking his life savings, the Corps continues to tax the marinas. A 4.6% tax on gas and food is required to be paid to the Corps by marina owners. It's what they did during the good times, but Slusser says it's impossible to do during the bad times.
It's definitely unfair now because, I mean, you're causing economic disaster on a lake, and you cut everybody, you ruin everybody's livelihood and their revenue, and then you still require them to pay rent. And some people, like myself, had to borrow money from one federal agency in order to pay the rent to another federal agency. That's as ludicrous as it gets too.
Slusser says he and fellow marina owners are paying for the Corps' mistakes. He says the cracks in Wolf Creek Dam should have been fixed decades ago. Now the problems are worse, not only for the dam, but for those who made a living from the water it holds.
We should have been reimbursed for our losses for something that they did.
It just didn't affect the marinas, but affect every business in Somerset and every county.
The Army Corps of Engineers created an economic disaster and just left us.
The 58-year-old Slusser now cuts grass to pay his bills, trying his best to stay afloat. Gigi Zink and her husband are living on Social Security. Marinas on the lake went from having a waiting list for boaters to more than 1,000 empty slips. Since the lake drawdown, unemployment in Pulaski, Wayne, and Russell counties has increased faster than the rest of the state. Best estimates right now are that the dam repairs won't be complete until 2014 at the earliest. That is unacceptable to the men and women who derive their livelihoods from tourism on the lake. It's also unacceptable for the thousands of families who enjoy the recreational opportunities Lake Cumberland has to offer. You've heard the old expression, it will take an act of Congress? Well, that's exactly what it's going to take. Call your House member today and ask for the Corps to be held accountable for the economic catastrophe they caused.